Hey, it's Jewellyn and Jen with Autonomy Learning, and today we're having a conversation about one of my favorite things, and yours too,
Mhm.
books and kids.
Yep. And books might not always be the first thing that springs to mind when we're talking about self motivation. But really, when kids engage in reading for more authentic purposes than just, I need to read for my 30 minutes and then put that down on my reading log or whatever the expectation is, there's a big shift that happens.
Yeah, and we've heard over years and years, right, about how as parents and teachers, we want our kids to love reading. Maybe we love reading, or maybe we didn't love reading and we want them to love reading. And like, how do we do that? Right. And a lot of that, it's all about the child's self motivation, right? You can't
Absolutely.
make them love reading. One of the things that you can do, though, is instead of like introducing a book,
Hmm.
kind of teach your child that you're being introduced to a character,
Love that.
right? This is a person that you're meeting that is going to go through an experience rather than these are a bunch of events that kind of happen, right? It's
Hmm.
again showing kids how actually characters aren't passive either.
True.
They are active movers in the world, just like you want them to be.
And you have an amazing way of choosing books where characters go through a challenging experience.
Yeah. So if you are in the market for books for
Hmm.
Christmas,
Hmm.
one of my favorite recent purchases is, because I have a problem with that, by the way, is Cannonball. And it shows a character going through something hard, right? And getting advice from other people and still not feeling like it was quite what they wanted to do or how
Hmm.
they wanted to do it, and really taking that risk and moving through it. And so it's a great way to talk to kids about, like, maybe you want to jump off a high dive, maybe you don't, maybe you want to do a cannonball, but it's showing a character that's gone through something challenging, identifying those feelings they might have,
Right.
how they're handling it, kind of talking through it, and then immediately applying it to their life, right? Again,
Yeah.
you might not be in a pool, you might not be at a beach, all the things, but what are ways that they see themselves taking on risk or feeling those feelings, or even me too,
Completely.
right?
Yeah. And a well-written character almost becomes like a friend for your child, right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
so it's another
Yeah.
almost relationship that they can have around them and an experience that they can hold in their head when they're trying to do something hard too, right?
Yeah.
We really want to normalize that taking on challenge is a good thing.
Yeah.
It is scary and it's okay. And the other good piece about surrounding your child with books and having conversations through books is that characters are experiencing a wide range of emotions in a lot of the stories that we read, right?
Yeah.
And so as you're reading and having this connected moment with your kid, or as you're handing them, a big story that they're going to get to experience,
Mhm.
they're thinking about all of these different emotions. What can you name? This is an opportunity to do a little bit of perspective taking, right? So,
Yeah.
what is this character maybe feeling that's different from this character, right? So, we can have these rich conversations through these characters that are in some ways disconnected from your kid, but in other ways become part of their identity too.
Oh, for sure.
And I'm holding up the one
Yeah,
and
one of
only
my
Ivan
favorites.
and the one and only Bob. These are books that you might be familiar with for your more upper elementary, maybe lower middle school, maybe
Hmm.
still adult who likes to reread books, right?
Yeah.
And I know you were saying that there's another Catherine
About,
Applegate that
yes,
goes
about
in the
Ruby, the
series
next, yeah,
about
character.
Ruby, which is
Hmm.
the little baby elephant. So these are beautiful books where characters are going through some challenging experiences. And again, normalizing that that's okay and that
Yeah.
there are all these ways that we can look at the world through these amazing characters.
Yeah. So thinking about, beautifully written books
Mm-hmm.
about characters that are more complex than flat is a way to think about how you want to choose literature for your child. If you're curious about some of our favorites, put some comments down below and we can add some of
Yeah.
other titles that we've really enjoyed with kids and that kids have really kind of, that's been their touch point of like, I remember reading that book and that changed me as a reader. That'd be really cool.
Love that.
Yeah.